What's up, kittens? I was just journaling and I was pondering as I'm closing cycles and continuing to compost past relationships. I was contemplating that I feel like a lot of times in society, and I don't know, maybe I'm out of touch, I'm not certain. Nevertheless, this is still an idea that I am rolling over in my mind. That I feel like a lot of times in society, there's a lot talking about how like absentee fathers and dads are like the masculine male figure is what causes like the most disruption when it comes to the development of individuals. Yet I was just considering that, and by no means were necessarily the parental role in the sentiment that I'm gonna share does not pertain to that paternal role. However, I feel like I think it's more talked about. And what I want to say is that every single one of my past partners, in some capacity, had like and the views expressed are the views of my own, had an unhealed mother wound that I feel, at least in my world, like where it was reflecting back, because I am healing my own mother wound, is the sense of this overt need for attention, and then this like very like passive aggressive need for a validation and an acknowledgement and being seen by the children. How like there was this a lot of times like these both extremes happening always, like consistently, like even in the overt there was this subtext, and even in the more subdued there was this like overtness of like, you should know what this person is needing to feel seen and validated right now. And I'm shocked, like when I was really pondering and thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, like I really cannot recall most of the people that I've been energetically connected to in some capacity as like some sort of partner or more than friends label, problems with their mom. And like enough that I feel like, reflecting on what they've shared with me, that if I had heard that same case study from like another source, I'd be like, oh yeah, there's unhealed stuff happening there. And for sure that's manifesting in those relational dynamics elsewhere if they're subconscious, because at the end of the day, like 0 to 7 and then all the way up to 25, like the brain is evolving and growing and absorbing. And 0 to 7, it's such formative years of what does that mean for our overall development if somebody's mom had postpartum, or if someone's mom had to go right back to work, or if someone's mom was a single mom and was taking care of multiple kids at the same time. What does that mean for if it was a mom who had extended work leave and could be in a more relaxed state and a more attentive state? Like, what does that mean on the brain from 0 to 7 now as an adult, reflecting back on these past relationships that I've had? And not so alarming for me. I think it's more of just like acknowledgement of people are just getting it from all angles. If it's not the primary caregiver of being like the mom or the dad, then there's like a step parent or a grandparent or an aunt or the government that's being in the system. Like all of these things are just like all the little pieces of sand on this beach that is this 3D and what is happening now. And before I sign off here, I just want to say that I do have this clock, and I'm not going to change the battery because I'm curious to see like when the battery stops ticking, or rather stops powering the clock to tick. I'm curious to see what the time's going to be. And it just wavers like back and forth. Like it makes some progress and then it comes back down. And then it makes some progress and then it comes back down. And then sometimes it freezes. And I feel like that's such a representation of what's happening in my universe right now, of this sense of like progressing, like reflecting. I feel like I am a consistent state of progressing. I think I missed a few words in that past sentence. When I'm reflecting on these experiences of my past, of like making progress and then sliding back, making progress, sliding back, and just like wavering back and forth. And I'm grateful now that as I have more self-awareness, I am becoming more decisive. And because I'm becoming more decisive, I'm able to implement more boundaries, a higher level of integrity, more standards of how I'm engaging in my world, because I have the courage to uphold those boundaries even if they're being tested. So I've zigzagged, I've zoomed all over, and I'm going to just, let that be my final thought. I'm going to get back to journaling, going to make some dinner, and I wish you all well, a happy morning, a happy afternoon, a great evening, a good night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.